Hello? Hello? The audio levels are going up.
Is there anyone out there?
I don't even know if there's anybody
harder
watching.
and harder to breathe.
Okay, the audio levels are moving.
Can they click the same link in the Discord and join?
It should be the same link. I still can't
Tell everybody
hear
to try it
anything.
again.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it again. Can you guys hear? Does it seem like it's working? I don't know what's happening right now. I can't hear anything out of my computer.
We have audio!
I don't know what music is playing. I picked one. But I can't hear it.
I noticed that you said this stream wasn't children friendly.
I did?
Mm-hmm. So it was not for kids.
I don't specifically remember clicking an option for that.
I'm specifically for kids. It says quiet though.
Oh no, sorry. On YouTube, you never click for kids.
Why?
That's the rule.
Why?
Because then you get in trouble when you do literally anything. Like, you get a bunch of ad restrictions placed on your videos, and like,
The
you
mic
don't,
sounds far away.
you don't click for kids. Sorry. We were off for a week and literally everything broke, I guess.
Nudity on. True. Today we're playing strip poker.
I'm not doing that.
No,
It's not happening.
it's not.
It was never the plan.
Well, I'm quitting then.
Stop hiding.
What do you mean? I'm eating
out.
a sandwich.
Get out from behind the mountain.
I'm eating.
Get out from behind the annoying mountain with this little white speck that I still haven't removed.
You mean? Oh, what?
This little thing.
What?
Are you trying to point at it?
Why is it flipped?
You really just don't get the mirror thing, do you?
What? No, it's. Wait, what? Wait, what?
That's right. There we go.
I don't understand. It's on the. I'm looking at it. Oh. Oh. Wait, no. It's on. I'm looking at it. It's on the right side of the screen.
Right, that
So
isn't a
I
mirror,
should-
that's a camera. It's looking at you. Like, from its own perspective.
You're right. I apologize.
Anyway,
I'm so sorry we're eating.
we got sandwiches.
The reason that last week didn't work is for a few different things, but one of the biggest things is we're not on a schedule
Yeah.
right now. And so not having a schedule makes it really hard to remember when things are supposed to happen. I think the first day we forgot, the second day we were busy. Some days get really, really busy and we can't even when we remember. That's most days, and then occasionally we'll forget one day and it throws off the whole schedule for when this is supposed to happen.
You know what? Daylight saving started last week. We'll just blame that.
Oh yeah, it was
Or everybody
daylight.
else does.
Honestly, that probably had something to do.
It might have.
Anyway, mukbang today. What mukbang?
You can tell because the window's actually light.
Wow, whoa. Weird. What do people talk about on mukbang? I guess they're just our Trisha paid us
I
and
don't think
talk
they
shit
do.
about
They just
people with.
eat. Don't invoke her name here.
I already said it.
Keep her energy out of this podcast.
I already said it. I said her name. Let's pretend we're her and just shit on people with any kind of disorder of any sort. Who cares? Eating disorder, mental disorder? I don't care. Just hate on someone for today.
And Bella says, also the camera is slightly more panned towards the right more than normal. I can see where Undercover Boss was filmed. More to the right. I guess that means the clock area that way. That must be what he's talking about.
It's because I'm sitting really far away. I'm sitting really far on the desk, more than normal. We're making me today.
That is the plan, I think, still, is to
Hopefully
pull
that
up in
works.
Crusader Kings and try to make Allison. I didn't actually check. Did anybody try to modify the Crusader Kings Kyle that I put up? It's actually still in this description too. The link is there. You can download the text file with the DNA to copy and paste.
Just Jen said, I doubt any one will show up this week because next week is spring break. I think that means for school. Our spring break just ended.
I never knew spring break was staggered. It makes sense, or people would. Can you chill?
He cannot chill.
It makes sense that spring break is staggered out. Otherwise, like the hotel industry would just explode once a week, like 1 week every year. if everybody got on spring break at the same time,
well,
you
I guess
know?
that makes sense, yeah. Ursa said, I just saw that there was a show called Seeking Sister Wives. What's your opinion? I don't know how she knows that I watch it religiously. It is my type of show, for sure. I don't remember which one that is. I don't know if it's Seeking... I watched one called Sister Wives, that they're all already married, and then there's Seeking Sister Wives. I don't know if I've seen that one.
We could talk about, like, trash reality TV today, if you
I
want.
could go off.
That could be a fun topic.
Anyway, I'm really torn on Sister Wives.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean...
as a show, or just, like, the concept
The concept.
of what goes on in it?
The only thing that's icky about it is that it doesn't feel like it's really super consensual because it's ingrained propaganda by the church. But if it wasn't ingrained propaganda by the church, I think it's a great idea. It's just multiple partners that all take care of different things. Like, imagine, like, not to be rude.
Like, if it was all just, like, a willing thing that everybody came up with on their own without it being weird
polygamy.
religious. Yeah.
But, like, imagine if we just had an extra partner.
Yeah.
And they were the clean one. Like, we looked for someone who just loves cleaning and was, like, good with schedule. Imagine if we just started dating Ricky into this relationship. Think of the power we could have.
Ricky, you want to join? Ricky showed up just to say
We
Mormon
are
Mafia.
Big snugglers, Ricky, so I'm sure you'll love that. And we're looking into getting a king, so for 3 people, I could really see that working out.
Ricky said that's just called a roommate.
See, I knew there was something going on between you and John. I knew that that's what you were going to say. That is not what a roommate is, so hopefully you and John are bonding well over there.
I've never had roommates. I actually don't know what that relationship is like on average.
It's like 80% making out.
I don't think that's true. I'm gonna doubt that one. Or you haven't told me a lot about your roommates.
They were all women. Except for the time it was my brother.
You want to clear that up?
No, I was just gonna try and stare straight faced. Anyway, I like the idea of Sister Wives as a concept, but I wish it didn't feel icky. But when the Mormons do it, it feels a little icky. I'm not gonna lie. So, that is kind of my thought. I don't know specifically what Seeking Sister Wives is, but I watched one.
Is that the full name of the show?
Yeah, and I don't remember the one that I watched, but try not to make a bunch of loud smacking noises. But I did watch one where he's already married to like 2 or 3 women, and then he finds a 4th one in like the 3rd season.
Oh.
And I just the biggest confusion about Sister Wives is like, there's never a man worthy. I just do not understand. They must be marrying for the other wives because
At least
the
get other men in there too.
But no. Unacceptable.
Jordan asked if we're going to kill the Welsh. No, we're making Allison today. Sorry.
I thought we were talking about trash TV today.
We'll get back to killing the Welsh at some point. Well, right now we're talking about trash TV. We might get to making Allison. We will eventually kill the Welsh. You have my word. We will do our best.
We have our own game.
Yeah.
Who asked? Was it New
It was
Englander?
Jordan.
Sorry I did that. Did you see me do that?
No.
I ate the bread by putting the fingers in my mouth. It's because it was breaking
Don't you have
apart.
toxic chemicals on your hands right now?
I washed them. Normally you eat the bread by
putting the bread in your mouth and not your entire fist.
I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be here.
I appreciate that Hi Hello always shows up just to say hi.
We need one of those, you know? It's not really a stream if there isn't somebody doing something like that.
Okay, hold on. This isn't about reality TV, but St. Louis Ball just said, speaking of trash TV, Chuck, if you're talking about the classic spy comedy starring Zachary Levi, you were in the wrong room.
Just because it was 2008 or whatever doesn't mean it's trash. It's a little trash.
Chuck is one of my favorite
But it's like
shows.
a little trashy. It's not trashy, it's... What is it?
It's referencing trash, so like some of it comes in there, because it's referencing spy movies.
Yeah, okay.
But it's Zachary Levi. Also, legitimately, like, all of my favorite TV shows are ones that specifically teach me something new about writing, and Chuck did that. I do need to specify, when I say Chuck, I only mean seasons 1 through 3. After that, I forget that it happened. But 1 through 3 is fantastic.
You know what I haven't gotten to do on stream? I haven't gotten to bitch about Marvel after WandaVision.
Yeah, we did get a Doug asked thoughts on Falcon and Winter Soldier. We have not yet started. We've been watching through.
I'm still angry after WandaVision, to be honest.
I listened to Dom and Tim's podcast and got a little bit more frustrated with parts of it, but
I didn't. I have my own thoughts on it.
There's wow, okay. There's we've been watching through all the actual movies. We're at Endgame, and once we're done, then we're gonna start Falcon and Winter Soldier. It just feels weird to like take a break for a second and then watch the first episode of that.
Oh, I want to watch the Snyder Cut. Snyder Cut live watch.
You haven't seen the original cut. Why do you care?
Because I trust him to have done a better job.
Why?
I kind of like Zack Snyder.
I don't think you do. I think you're wrong.
Am I getting him mixed up?
No.
Okay.
But Zack Snyder is not. This is. I mean, I guess it's not his stuff. I don't know. I don't care for Zack Snyder as a. Zack Snyder has proven himself to be pretty darn good at adapting other people's content, and it is Justice League, so maybe it's okay. But like, I'm not a fan of his particular artistic vision most of the time.
Just
He's
Jen
fine.
says,
It's just not my
really?
thing.
I don't know what you're talking about, Just Jen, but I want to know. It's kind of amazing, like.
I think WandaVision.
Oh, about WandaVision?
Maybe, yeah.
Though, okay, so I'm not gonna do any spoilers because that's super fucking rude. But WandaVision was a really good show, and I don't really have any complaints about the show. I have complaints about the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe with women. I watched a 9-episode, like a full-length. It was 9 episodes. It was more. 9 episodes of starring exactly like 3 big female characters.
Yeah.
And none of them, despite 9 episodes worth of material to work with, have unique personalities that are well developed. And here's my example for this.
It's interesting because we didn't notice really most of the way through.
I didn't notice till the very end.
I will say that we enjoyed watching it. Like, it is important to note, we enjoyed the experience of watching it. So, like, baseline that. But then after we were done, we were talking about it and realized this.
The biggest thing is, like, okay, so this is, like, the simplest way to put my complaints. It's a very short complaint, and I'll just let you guys sit on it. I'm sure you guys might think differently. I know, like, the characters are well done enough in the Marvel Universe. All of the men, they're really great. I know what Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor would do if they had a bad server. I know...
Like, if they're sitting at a restaurant table and, like, they're having to deal with, like, a crappy waiter.
I know how they would handle a cold individually. Right. I know who these people are. I know what they would do if their mom called and asked if they needed soup. Like, I know who these people are so much that I could predict the little things they do in tiny social interactions that help build interesting characters.
Yeah, definitely.
And despite 50 fucking movies with Black Widow and Scarlet Witch and
Captain Marvel.
Well, she's only got 1 or 2 or 3.
One.
It doesn't matter. But like, despite multiple movies, I don't know what any of them would do. Like, they don't have any unique, interesting, defining things about a single one of them.
I'm really glad that you thought to put it that way.
Except Okoye. That's it.
Oh yeah, no, she's great.
That's the only one.
I'm really, like, I think that's a really good way to put it, because I think it makes it really clear to people, like, without even having to, like, explain the finer points of feminism or anything. It's just really clear of, like what you said, like, legitimately, what would Thor do if he had a rude waiter, and then it's like, now what would Black Widow do? Does that? No one knows, because every writer writes her differently, because there isn't a consistent personality to work with.
Right, you can say one of 2 things. You could say, I don't know, or you could say that she would do the same thing. Like, ask what each favorite character's food would be. And I bet you Captain Marvel, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Monica Rambeau, Gamora, they all order the same food, and it's because we can't establish a difference between these types of characters. We straight up cannot. Okay, so George said Valkyrie. Valkyrie is one of my least favorite Marvel characters, but not because she's done poorly.
Actually, she is definitely one of the clearest cut female characters. We literally just watched Thor Ragnarok the other day, and Allison remembered not liking her character type very much. I couldn't really remember, but after watching through the whole thing, I was like, she's one of the strongest characters in here, for sure. Like, one of the strongest female characters, because... For the same reasons you were talking about, like, I could answer those questions about her. Yeah. They knew who she was while they were writing her.
Right, she would order a beer. She
Which
would
means,
be mean to the waiter.
Like, you don't personally like the type of character she is, but she is objectively a better written character.
Right. So like Embellis Me Laugh says, I don't know the answer to any of them. I haven't watched a movie in years. But I want to call out Doug, who said, I think Wanda would probably just magic some stuff over. That's not a personality. You had to default to the only thing she's ever done.
The power, right?
Right.
That's
you
her
have to
personality.
default to the power because that's not a personality. Like, to magic something over to you might be, and what might make sense for that. Never mind. I don't want to give away spoilers.
I just want to make sure Jen feels heard. She said, again, it's better than how the actual comics were written. DC isn't any better. Both of those things are 100% correct and are very low bars.
Yeah.
No one's disagreeing with you. It's just I don't consider those enough of a comparison.
Yeah, I don't touch comic books.
Those were just cardboard cutouts at that point.
The first time, like, when anime and comic books and any other things like that, if a woman shows up and her tits are unrealistically large or her proportions don't make sense in a way that, like, a normal woman would look, like, if they're just like, this is a woman who goes to school and she's, like, in, like a sweater that's, like, really low and she's got, like, a lot of cleavage, I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
I feel like that's limiting the experience, the description too much. There are certain. I've said that I'm not going to get too much. Anime is a whole different conversation, but there are certain. One of the problems I have with anime, and one way I'm taken out, is that when women show up on screen, I'm like, what is this creature? I know women. That isn't one. I don't know what it is you're trying to put in this story because that's not a human being.
Yeah.
Behavior, appearance, like general response to anything, and yeah, that's a common issue.
Krell says the Harley Quinn show has almost fully developed female characters. And I will say, I've liked pretty much everything that Harley Quinn has been in the live-action movies, despite hating Harley Quinn's character. But I really liked Birds of Prey in a way that it was a bad movie. I liked the characters in Birds of Prey.
But a very different kind of bad.
Yeah, I like the characters in... What's one everyone hates that I like?
Oh, Suicide Squad.
I like the characters in Suicide Squad. I like most of those because I think the characters are... I think the female characters in DC are better done than the ones in Marvel. And nothing kills me more to think about.
Yeah, I know, really, right? That's rough. Doug says, I just hope they get Miss Marvel right when that comes out. That character has a lot of potential. I didn't know that character existed. She is I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know the character. I believe she's a Middle Eastern American teenage girl.
No.
That gets superpowers. And I think there's a lot to work with there. They can definitely make her a real person, and I hope they do it.
Her name's Kamala.
Oh, cool.
She's got big hands.
So she does. I know nothing about this person.
I just feel like they could really work on the ones they already did. Like, finish the project
you
started.
Yeah, well, because, I feel like Thor started pretty bland, too.
Yeah.
And then we were just talking about this, how, Thor was pretty, and then... the Russo brothers found out that Chris Hemsworth was funny in Ultron, and then eventually they handed him to Taika Waititi, and he was like, "I know how to do this."
Yeah.
And I think the secret to making the Marvel Universe continue to be good is give everything to Taika Waititi.
St. Louis Ball says, "Why is it so hard to write female characters? And if you could write a female character, what would she be like?" So this is really tricky for a few different reasons, and we have talked about this before on the podcast that died.
Oh yeah, we had one little lone live stream where we talked about this.
But basically, there's a couple of really big mistakes they do outside of just the male gaze of a female character, which is just making a female character through what men think they're like from a distance, and then 2, making a male character and just giving her a female body. If you remove both of those, really, you just have to know a woman. So I was literally
going to say, it's kind of it's not a practical answer, but practicality would just take longer to explain right now. But the behind the writer's room answer to this is that I just don't think a lot of writers have female friends. You can just tell in if you go watch something like New Girl, that's written by women or men who know women, and you can tell because they just act like people. They have personality distinctions and flaws, and they act like human beings. I don't know how else to put it.
It's a little bit hard to describe.
Black Widow is a trope. That character has existed in so many different movies, and they didn't reference a woman when writing her. They referenced the character trope of the femme fatale and just rewrote that person again.
And the things that they do well about Black Widow in the movies are just male traits they've assigned to her. The things that are enjoyable about Black Widow are just things that men like in other men. and that women like in men.
I realized every time we come up with this question about who's like the best female character in the Marvel universe, I have never once thought of the Ancient One from Doctor Strange, and we just watched Doctor Strange, and she's my answer now. But I think the reason she worked is because she's gender neutral. Like she isn't like
she's not a female character.
She doesn't have a female personality in the way that you right, and so I think it works there. So they write her differently. It's just, I think what it is that writers, they use shortcuts, and existing female characters are shallow imitations of real human beings. That's really all it is. They use shortcuts. They reference women in media that have already existed. And the same problem just keeps perpetuating itself.
I feel like we kind of skipped over the actual question, which was how would you actually write a good female character?
Answering that question is harder and longer, so I was answering the other question first.
Sure,
that's all.
I think I would just sort of like minimize the answers if I had to, but it would require more like explanation. Women have different experiences in life, just in general. Being a woman is different than being a man, not biologically, just realistically. Their perception and their experience.
I mean, you're treated differently, so you have different experiences, and
They're just different. You're treated differently in every single way. Like a woman, the way that women treat kid babies versus male babies, the way that men treat sons versus daughters. It starts early and it keeps going. And I'm not going to list whether or not any of those things are bad, but only just specifically, women have unique experiences to women. You know, like
but it's subtle. It's because I've seen people try to make like this is a female empowerment movie and it gets really eye rolly because it still isn't actually written by women, or like feminist characters written by men, or the strong because again we have like this is a strong female character attempts all the time, but it's like it doesn't quite work because it's like it's a different perspective, but it's not like again it's not a different. It's still just a person.
Yeah.
It's still just a person.
Yeah.
They all have...
I don't know what they're going on about. Something about war and anime, and I don't know what's happening. But anyway, that's how I would very quickly answer that question, which is just that understand the female experience. Which shouldn't be hard. The reason it's hard is because we understand the male experience because it is continuously portrayed in media.
But again, I think this also, this weird, like, it's tropes. Like, it's really easy to fall back on tropes and to write things that you don't know about by referencing the depiction you've seen of them elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think it plays into it a lot, actually.
I think we've sort of gone as far as we can on that topic.
Okay.
I mean, well, we could just talk about it for a million years.
No, we could. Yeah, I mean, we could go on and on about this.
Anyway, that was my end of what is the show called?
Oh, right, yeah, sorry. Rewinding backward a bit, WandaVision...
That was my WandaVision take.
Our disappointing thing was that they had an entire TV show to dive into this character, and then by the end of it, we still couldn't answer those questions about her.
They still managed to explain her entire backstory, and I'm like, but who is the person?
Right, because... interesting writing thing I heard recently that stuck in my head that I'm going to use from now on. There's this whole... Somebody, I want to say it was like Will Campos or somebody who wrote VGHS.
Ricky, One Piece isn't going to be good. It's not going to meet my standards. The women are drawn with giant cantaloupe boobs and like long, stretchy bodies. There's literally no way it's going to pass. I do not believe for a second they have like strong, interesting, unique female characters with female experiences in that show.
Wait.
Not even a little bit.
Wait. This writing tip, I like it.
Go ahead.
It's talking about character backstories. And how everybody always writes, even if you're like doing D&D games, it's really easy to go like, oh, this person's all dark and gritty and depressed because his parents died or whatever, right? Like you put a dramatic event in their backstory. Yeah. But the question is like, okay, well, but what about the people whose parents died and they're like happy and generous and stuff, right? Like not everybody, like the same event does not equate to the same future person all the time. Lots of people experience the same things in their past.
Yeah.
And don't turn out the same way. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
The difference is how they react to the thing that happens. It's about it's character decisions, right? It's the bad thing happens and different characters respond to it differently, and that's what we're talking about with like all the male Marvel characters. You could have something stolen from them, and every one of them is going to react differently. And I bet you know how, right? If you stole something from Iron Man, he's going to react differently than if you stole something from Thor.
Yes.
and that's what defines the character.
Yes.
And they just haven't done that with most of the women.
They haven't done that
They haven't
at all.
made them make decisions off of the bad things that happen to them. Things just happen to them.
Right.
They persist, and that's it. That's it. They just keep going. That's their personality trait, is that they're not dead.
Despite trying so hard to stay away from it, it's only about anime now. That's all I've been talking about. That is it. Ricky says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Have you watched the 1,000 episodes?" I promise you, I don't have to. I will go to YouTube, and I will go One Piece highlights or something, and I will know from moments that they did not do these characters right. I promise you. When was it made?
1,000 episodes, probably over several decades. I have no idea.
Just like statistically, the time it was made, it's got so many things working against it. The time it was made, the anime, the drawing styles. Like, I'm sorry, not the anime. The fact that it's anime. Like, there's so many things that are already working against it. It's so hard to find decent female characters in anime. It's unbelievable. And what's really hard is even trying to talk to the anime community about it. No one is fucking weirder about anime than the anime community.
It's very defensive, which is weird, because, like, I would respect everybody so much more if they were just like, yeah.
Not even defensive. I strolled upon a TikTok, and the TikTok was, what one scene from an anime do you show people to get them interested in anime?
Right, and they're always like,
and
weird.
it was schoolgirls in schoolgirl outfits, roughly the age of 12. And the whole scene was them going back and forth, freaking out with all the weird anime screaming and blushing about spanking another student for something she did wrong. And I'm like, I hate you. It had 400,000 likes. And every single comment was like, this is my go-to anime to introduce people to. And y'all gotta stop.
What are you
what? What did you say?
Like, why? What is it that you're selling to people? If that's your go-to.
If I answer that, I think we'll get removed from YouTube. Like, I literally cannot answer that. Jordan says, based Allison fighting back the weeb hordes. I honestly, I'm really willing to, fight against a lot of people in different communities. I will not fight anime men.
I have to say,
I will not touch anime men.
Because this has been recently relevant. I have enjoyed... I wasn't expecting it. I haven't...
Time to commit Sudoku.
I have enjoyed being introduced to anime because of the few little gems that show up that are really good and don't have the problems that turn me away from it.
You're welcome.
Are so uniquely fantastic just because they're not American media. We've been watching through Attack on Titan and I freaking love it.
We love Attack on Titan.
We're not finished, so don't spoil anything past season 3.
I will straight up kick you in the shins.
We did the season 3
Even worse,
finale.
I will literally, if you spoil Attack on Titans, I'll just straight up ban you. I'll kick you out of the Discord and this
She will do it.
I will seriously fucking do it. Please don't test me. I mean, you're gonna test me, I'm gonna kick you the fuck out. I will not even feel bad.
The pacing is my two problems with anime stuff is unrealistic women take me out of it, and pacing is usually awful because they're trying to not pass up the source material. But if they don't have those issues, a lot of times they're really good. Also, apparently, make your story based on the Holocaust, and that's the secret spice. Because there's that one, and there's Full Metal Alchemist are the two that I've really enjoyed.
Bella says, Allison, you're willing to fight basically anybody and everybody, except anime men. I'm not willing to do that. I think you're sticky, and I don't want anything to do with you.
That's so...
Doug said,
that's so accurate.
Cal and Allison, what are your thoughts on paying my water bill? Don't, probably.
Wait, on you doing it, or are you asking us to pay your water bill?
Oh, different answers. Well, I think both of them are probably nobody pays.
No money is being transferred here.
Nobody gets your money. Keep your money. Why do people think...
Ricky doesn't like Attack on Titan. Ricky, your opinions are wrong. I'm sorry. Eventually we'll be back in person. We can fight about this without us having the unfair advantage of you being in a text chat and us being vocal, because that's not a fair way to argue.
How to tell your friends they have bad taste.
How do you... never mind.
I don't know what is Promised Neverland. What is that?
I don't know. I've not heard of most anime for sure. And
Ricky says Aaron is a bitch, but literally watched all of My Hero Academia.
But you like My Hero, you like Deku, but Aaron is a bitch, really?
He likes Bakugo, which is worse, I think. Doug says, speaking of anime, I don't care what anyone says. I love Naruto. Never saw it.
I know, my friends liked it in high school, but I never watched that one.
St. Louis Ball says, don't you dare insult Aaron.
People like describing people as sticky.
Do they? But you know I'm right.
It is an unfortunately accurate description of some people.
Just Jen says, when there are racist opinions or lazy poor takes, I find and fight with facts. I don't know who she's responding to, but it's hard to agree with that take. Eric says, for anime recommendations, always love to plug Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, we watched that.
That's my other one.
That's really good. It's
also,
written by
I've
a woman.
Seen half
That's why it's
of
good.
Death Note.
You have not even seen close to half. You've seen like 5 episodes.
Sorry, I saw half of the first season of Death Note, and it was interesting, and I still haven't gotten back to it because I keep forgetting to. But it was decent. I'm interested in watching the rest.
Azim says, I don't like lolly anime, and I just want you to know that no one should. Hot take of the year shouldn't be a thing that you like, actually. Like, I don't really recommend this anymore, but like, find God.
No. This doesn't fix the problem.
What is Promised Neverland? What is that? Is that an anime? Oh, it's a feminist anime.
Yeah.
But is it? Let me look it up. Promised.
It could be. There's probably plenty of... So here's the thing. I've also been working my way through, like, shonen anime for the most part, which is all basically the same thing as far as I can tell. It's the, you know, the...
These look like children.
It's the plucky... Well, they're not really plucky, actually. It's the very weak protagonist gaining power and working his way to the top of whatever weird world that he's in. It's always kind of the same thing, and they're pretty ripe with the problems that I don't like most of the time.
Ricky says, where's cat ears? I hate all anime. I don't hate all anime. I like good anime, and these were a gift, and it's my only headband. If they didn't have cat ears, I would wear it more. But I didn't wash my hair. I am lazy. I am more lazy than I am against cat ears, so that might tell you something.
There you go.
Like, just about my personality in general.
That's been true. There was literally one day where Allison just texted me, like, I wore cat ears in public. Because she walked out of the house not knowing she had this on.
I went to Starbucks and someone made a noise at me, and I was like...
I don't remember that somebody responded.
They said... No, I walked... Yeah, no, somebody did. It was behind... That's why I texted you. I walked into Starbucks, and someone made, like, a strange noise at me, and I was like... And then I got up to the counter, and the lady ordering with her Blue Lives Matter hat on was, like, staring at me. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I know I don't look like a Republican, but I was getting, like, distinctly, like, interesting reactions from people. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I wore cat ears. And actually, they had little, They had little roses all along this area, but I picked them off because... I don't know, I picked things. I don't know why I do that. I just picked them off. It was much cuter with them on, but then one fell off, and so I had to rip all of them off, and we're here.
Ursa Polaris said, I love the endearingly bad anime Fruits Basket, Allison. Watch and give me your opinion.
I love Fruits Basket. Who doesn't like Fruit Baskets?
No one.
Oh, she likes
Ursa Polaris is recommending it.
Fruits Baskets is cute. It's probably a problem, but
Allison's seen that one.
I watched it I read the anime, and then I watched it in high school. I liked it.
Yeah, we're probably not getting to Crusader Kings today. Sorry, guys.
Shitting on anime, the title.
No.
No! Why?
Yeah, alright, fine. I can't think of anything else.
Watch you get
flagged. Yeah, no, what else can we call it?
I don't know.
Not playing CK3.
Wow. Anime edition. You're really bearing the lead there.
Yes, I'll rename them later. Eventually I'll organize all these episodes.
Ricky says, but no strong female characters. Yeah, if you take the main character out of Fruits Baskets, it's a better story. I like all the male characters in it. I don't remember. You know, I was in high school,
yeah.
And it was the first anime my mom allowed me to read.
I'm pretty sure that one was also written by a woman, so it definitely has, like, less of the usual weird stuff in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at us talking about anime on stream like we know what we're talking about. I mean, I do know what I'm talking about.
I'm very uneducated. I'm still very...
Epic Linux says anime is bad and here's why by DM. That's a good title. Oh, A Steal from Scott Pilgrim, Allison versus the World. That's another good potential title of something.
Oh, and just Allison versus the World?
Yeah.
That's just the title of this. That's just the alternate. That's the subtitle of this show. Okay, we're up late. Allison versus the World.
I've seen Haiku as an anime recommendation. It's the all boys volleyball thing.
Oh yeah.
Why aren't there female Why aren't there female sports animes?
No, maybe there are.
There aren't.
Think about it. If there are, do you think you want to watch it?
Well, it's just annoying that I can't demand female anime because it's gonna be borderline porn. And like, so they have Haiku. It's just weird. They have Haiku, which is a volleyball.
Yeah, Alex the actor says there are, but don't watch them.
Yeah, Haiku is the volleyball one for men. Then they came out with a cheerleading anime. It's men. Like.
Okay, but I love the idea of doing like a classic like shonen anime thing, but with just like a really mundane concept.
No,
as I'm describing this, I realize Yu-Gi-Oh exists, so that's probably already been done.
I think Yu-Gi-Oh is not supposed to be a mundane concept.
It's trading cards. They just animate up the trading card game.
It's pretty cool. Haiku made Ricky cry? What? I didn't think it was that interesting when I started it. Nothing makes me cry. Oh wait, no, he didn't say that. No, it does. Oh no, he does say that. Okay. Googled it. Top 10 sports anime with an all-female cast. I don't Google anime, like the word anime. Does not work in my favor very often.
I think if you just Google articles about it, it's probably fine.
Let's look it up. Let's try it.
Carl says there's a sports anime about making comics.
Top 10 sports.
This reminds me of if I had just like a lot of money, I would spend it on such stupid stuff. I would just dump money into all kinds of like stupid artistic productions, and one of them, I don't know if he's listening right now, but one of them would 100% be one of Ian's greatest high school ideas, which was Dragon Ball Z on Ice. I think Ricky may also have been involved in this idea.
There's a whole list of these.
That is the whole sell. Dragon Ball Z on Ice is the entire pitch. Take it or leave it.
This one says swimming ... naked.
Yeah, right?
This one says mecha enhanced wrestling.
Okay. This is the list female sports animes?
Yeah.
We have tennis, wrestling, toy fighting, 3 volleyballs, kickboxing, kendo, general athletics, another card game, figure skating, swimming naked. All right.
The other thing about anime, though, is there's so many animes that most of them are bad. It's not worth going through this whole list. Most animes have bad writing, just in general. So, like, even if I went through these lists because they meet those qualifications, none of that guarantees it's going to be written well. Not a single one.
I mean, I would also argue that most television has bad writing. Like, you and I have had time, like, it's just... Everything in anime is more intense, inherently. That's what the style does, right? So, like, if it is problematic, it's, like, really problematic, like, right off the top. Like anime has very, very, very attached in front of every verb, or every adjective.
Yeah.
Because, like, we can browse through Netflix, and 99% of stuff on Netflix is garbage, too.
Yes.
But just subtler garbage. Network appropriate. American network television appropriate garbage.
Oh my god, don't
look.
There was a Titan spoiler.
Was there?
Yeah.
Did you get spoiled?
Just mildly.
Yeah, we gotta be careful. Gotta be careful looking stuff up.
He says there's ultra racist movies than ultra creepy anime.
I do think that like the American
is it weird
what
to
is
say that
the American
is worse than racism? Is that like a bad take?
I'm just not sure we have time
for
that discussion.
I'm just saying. I'm saying it for now, but I'm willing to take it back. But I think sexualizing
How about we just
children...
don't compare? They're both bad. Let's not compare that. Don't do either of them.
Okay. Okay.
But I do think the American like television, the American has like a censorship organization that I think blocks a lot of stuff. It doesn't make quality any better, and it doesn't block everything. It's just a different standard. But like that's what I was meaning by like I think everything about anime is so intense that it's just very obvious when certain things come into play. Also, lots of stuff in anime is also racist. I've seen it happen. That's not exclusively an American thing.
I realize I shouldn't have brought this up because no one in chat's going to be able to say anything. Everything they say is going to get flagged.
Right.
Like,
I believe that answers your question.
Right.
About whether or not we should talk about this.
Right. Pretty much everything chat says is flagged regularly because you guys just say what I say
right.
in chat, which is annoying. But luckily Ricky's here to mod, which is unique. But we're happy to have you. And you're still able to join this dynamic if you're interested. For the cleaning. Oh wait, Ricky doesn't clean.
What?
Ricky doesn't clean. That was the whole point of getting a third. Never mind. All I'm saying is all medians. I don't know what you're saying that about. What are you saying?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what he's mad about. It could have been, I said like 5 bad things.
He could also be responding to chat. I don't know. What were we talking about before this? Was there something we wanted to...
Oh, Ricky cleans.
We were going to talk about trash TV. I mean, trash reality TV specifically.
I feel like we've been talking trash about TV.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Reality TV... We will do reality television another day, because that's its own whole conversation. This ended up turning into anime instead. Anyway, I'm excited to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, all mediums have problems. I see. I'm not really excited to watch that. You know what I got reminded again? I got re-reminded again about something that I've always known, which is that the American military pays to be portrayed well, and Marvel movies are one of their most funded movies to do so. It's actually
I heard about this, and the system is that if you they will let you use their equipment, but you have to hit certain requirements.
Right.
It's like a sponsorship deal. And part of that is not talking trash about the U.S. military.
Real fast, Jordan, I'm going to show one of your comments. I'm not going to show the other, not because it's that bad, but because I do not want to continue this debate viscerally. So I think we'll just skip over that one. But yeah, say what you just said again about the military?
I don't remember. Oh, it was there's like it's like a deal. It's like a film, like you can make.
Yes, they
like
will they will help fund the movie if you portray the military.
And they'll give you like equipment and stuff to use in the movie,
right.
like as like props and things.
But the military has straight up canceled movies from being able to be made because they portrayed the military poorly.
I believe that.
Yeah, and so I had forgotten about it, except someone re-brought it up while watching Falcon and Winter Soldier because they thought it was so heavy propaganda.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know how much the military actually plays into the movie. I guess it makes sense that it would, because they're military characters, or at least they were as their origin stories. Like, it doesn't seem like they should be anymore, but maybe they still, like, I don't know.
Ursa says, my hubby watches too much daytime TV. He says extreme couponing is the unofficial prequel to Hoarders. I didn't watch Hoarders because it made me gross out, but I did like extreme couponing, and I'm, like, a little part of me will always regret that I'm not an extreme couponer. But I found a person on TikTok who teaches people how to coupon really well.
Yeah.
And so she like, goes on and she's like, okay, here's what you do. You get this deal at Target where you buy 3 things of toothpaste for $4.99, then you buy this for this much, and you buy this for this one, and that's going to give you a $5 back gift card at Target when you do all these. Then you're going to go to I Bought It, you're going to put in your receipt, they're going to give you all of the money back that you spent, and then you do this, and so realistically, not only did you spend $2 on 8 things, you also got a $5 gift card, and so that's what she does, like, okay. And that's how couponers work, and I thought about doing it, but I don't want 4 things of toothpaste.
Right.
I can't handle too many things, like, I don't want 8 laundry detergents, and I know that half the things I get couponing are gonna go bad anyway. Like, it just...
I'm just not sure it's actually better, because the amount of work you have to put into learning how to do it properly, and then keep on top of it.
She tells you, like, each thing,
well,
but yeah.
Where did she get it? Like, somebody's doing work.
She's been doing it her whole life, I
Somebody's
think.
doing work for very, like, minuscule savings, relatively.
Yeah. I do like daytime TV so much. I watch it on YouTube every day. You know what I'm watching? I'm watching the Slater sisters, the 1,000-Pound Sister show.
Oh, yeah.
They are amazing. If I had the opportunity to meet either of them in person, I would do it. I like daytime TV because it's about the most mundane shit. And something is so exciting about how mundane things are. Like, someone's like, hey, I just found a quarter in my couch, and that's really interesting to me because I've had this couch for 50 years, and I remember missing a quarter at one point, but occasionally I'll just go through all my couches and figure out how much money I'm making. I'm like, oh my god, tell me more, please! I won't leave. I'll just sit here for hours listening to some guy talk about his dumb life, and I love it! I love it. It's amazing. It's so interesting.
It is, like, weirdly captivating, just, like, watching somebody else's life.
It's so interesting.
I don't know why. I don't know why that works.
Let's see. Oh, Doug says the military plays into it for the first 10 minutes because Falcon is in the military.
Okay. I'm excited at the world setup that it's gonna... I am intrigued enough by the potential world building that I want to watch it, and hopefully the story keeps my attention. That's sort of where I'm going on and on. Because supposedly they're gonna cover more of what happened in, like, the 5-year gap that we just haven't seen still. So I'm kind of interested to see that.
I think Alex says your rich couch quarters are the best quarters. Sorry, I wasn't interested because I've never dug a quarter out of my couch. That's not why. Do people think we're rich? Y'all.
Is that what they're saying?
I don't know, but that really makes me feel good.
It does?
Yeah. If someone thought I was rich, I think I would only feel good about that. Like, I don't want to be rich, but I do want people to think I'm rich.
Okay.
Or maybe I don't. I don't know. It only sounds like a compliment to me. Right? Someone's like, hey, you seem rich.
I don't know, I guess so.
Well, actually, that kind of offended me, so I don't know.
And Bella says y'all are on the top half, surely. I mean, in the broad spectrum of things, almost definitely.
Yeah,
And that's, awful. Because I make less money than Rachel does, and she's a teacher. And I know they don't make a lot of money.
I make $25,000 a year. He makes, what are you, 70?
50.
50,000 a year.
75
Together
total.
we make 75,000 a year, which I do think is, like,
I think it's unusually high for our age in this generation, actually, which is insane because it isn't nearly as high as people who I think came before us, like relative to
probably.
that.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It depends on inflation. But yeah, we're definitely, Door Monster makes a good amount of money, but Door Monster's paying a lot of people, so we don't actually see Door Monster money.
Right, yeah, sorry. Door Monster brings in a lot of money, but it gets split up to a lot of different people.
Right, like, we're not Jake Paul. We don't get, like, $2 million a month and then pocket it, and then turn that into your own shop, and then, like, multiple things.
Most of the good things that I have in my life have come through relationships I've established with other people, actually, rather than money. Like, the reason we're here in this house is because we went in on it with her family.
Yeah.
And so we're all, like, sharing this whole thing. That's the only reason, like, I have a room that's this big right now. It's not because of my personal income.
The only reason we have a room this big is because we moved in with my mom, my brother, and my brother's girlfriend.
And they both...
We're splitting a house 3 ways.
Her mom, who's, like, a Gen Xer who worked up her way through the career ladder, and then her brother who...
Our name isn't even on the lease because we would have brought it down because we don't have enough money. I wish...
We are still the stragglers somehow. But you're still right. Like, I'm not even correcting you. Like, I do think we have more than probably, like, most people even in the United States, and that's not even touching, like, third world countries or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I have excess money to spend every month, so I think that puts me in a good spot, honestly. I don't know. I don't really know. I know that I have more money than most people in America, at the very least.
Right.
Or at least I have more opportunity to not have money. I don't have kids. I don't have to provide. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't have things in my life that make I make $25,000 a year. That's less than what I made as a server most of the time.
I was making $25,000 up until, like, 2 years ago when I finally gave myself a raise for the first time.
But the reason that, like, $25,000 works now is because I live with 3 other people, so we're splitting the house and a lot of the things together.
No, $25,000 is, like, almost impossible to live on. I mean, if you're making...
I think it is impossible to live on.
Yeah.
I think if you're more than one person, it's the poverty line.
That's why people are living with roommates and their parents and not by themselves in their own houses.
And Bella says, Allison, aren't you always saying fuck the rich? Yeah, but I'm not talking about my mom. Like, I'm not talking about people who make,
I think he's responding to you were being like, ooh, rich is a compliment.
Oh! Yeah, well, when I think of rich, I think of, like, yes. Yeah, fuck the rich. I mean, just in general, like, yes. I have no doubts about that. That's why I was, like, mildly offended when I said, you seem rich. Like, I said that, and I was like, that seems maybe like an insult. But if someone just thought I was rich, I feel like it'd be different. Like, if someone just didn't say anything but thought I had money, I might be like, oh, that's nice.
I mean, like, if you think my room is very nice, I really appreciate it. I put a lot of work into it.
Yeah. Okay, we're behind on chat.
Yeah, what are we missing?
I don't know.
It's a lot of planning, too. Like, there's, like, I think this room of stuff is probably decently valuable, but, like, I've collected this stuff since I was, like, 12. Like, this is an entire life's worth of, like, collecting knickknacks that I wanted to eventually hang up once I got my office, you know?
Belle says, you don't want your name on the lease, trust me.
Yeah, no, we
do own a house.
We're in the better position.
Yeah,
like, we're definitely the moochers here.
We own another house that we are renting out to friends of ours, but also still have to pay for because we're not actually renting it at the price that it costs.
We have a weird setup at the moment.
It's complicated. We didn't want to charge our friends as much as our house actually costs to live in.
Right.
So, you know, casual stuff.
Ursa says it still doesn't seem enough to buy your own damn cream cheese, Allison.
I didn't eat the cream cheese! That didn't happen. It was... Look, go back and watch the stream. When my mom brings it up, Kyle gets sheepish. Sheepish.
What?
Look at it. You get sheepish when she says it. I can tell you.
Oh, because I probably ate the cream cheese?
Yeah, did you eat the cream cheese?
Almost definitely. I legitimately don't remember, but the chances are high.
Told you.
I've said that every time so far. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
See, it wasn't me. I didn't eat the cream cheese. I need Kyle's mug. The Buc-ee's?
Doug says minimum wage doesn't pay the bills in any zip code in America. That is correct. That is the issue. We are lucky enough to not rely on minimum wage jobs. That is the... And I am very, very thankful for that.
So I make,
You might technically make minimum wage when you calculate it all out.
Do you take out my taxes?
Yeah, because you're an employee, technically. And the only reason you're being paid as an employee is because it gives us access to, like, better health insurance.
Right, because we needed the health insurance.
That's the only reason. Like, that's the stupidest thing. Like, the only reason we're as good as we hate the entire system of capitalism, and the only reason we're like, as well off as we are is because we're just, like, taking little tiny low-hanging fruits from the exact same system just because Door Monster is technically a company, and so we get to use it to, like, get extra little things here and there.
It's honestly an accident. Like, we're just sort of, like, casually doing something, and then someone's like, hey, there's a big loophole for businesses, and we're like, there are no fucking wonder. You have to step on other people to get anything that you need. That makes sense.
No, there have been multiple times where, like if we're doing, like, financial stuff with my dad, there have been multiple times where I'm like, if I was a worse person, I could be a millionaire. Oh. like I could. There are. This is just so broken in so many different ways.
Yeah, no, literally, there are definitely, like, a few things will happen where, yeah, someone will recommend us financial advice or business advice, and we both look at each other and we're like, I cannot believe that's a thing.
I wish I could remember what it was we were talking about, but me and Ian have weird hypothetical conversations a lot, and there was one time years ago where we were driving in the car. Weirdly, like, I can remember, like, the road we were on, but I can't remember what we were talking about.
Right.
But we somehow got onto this weird, like, haha, wouldn't it be funny if kind of idea. Mm-hmm. And I just remember at the end of it, both of us simultaneously being like, it's really good that we aren't terrible.
Yes.
Because if somebody else had this idea, they might do it.
I was watching something recently, and someone went through the whole explanation of how the wealthy don't actually have to pay any of their taxes.
Yeah.
There's, like, a whole system around it. I don't think people understand it. If you don't actually, like, if you start earning money as a business, you start getting more and more money just by doing the shady things that exist within loopholes because you're a business earning money. Like, as soon as you start earning money in a business owning sense, they write, like, the rest of it's laid out for you. They're like, oh, you're a business and you make money? Here is a step-by-step, like, literally they will walk your butt up the simplest steps, and they're just like, make a fucking ton of money. But it's not without cost, because you usually have to take something from someone else or do something really underhanded or whatever.
This is why we actually learned doing Skyvault that everybody in the film industry owns a company. Like everyone,
Yeah.
like every actor, every producer, every single person has an LLC entity or something that they will often do business through because of even just really basic things like being able to write stuff up on taxes or being able to apply for certain things you can't apply to as an individual. Like everybody has a company shell in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Because that's how you have to do it. So it's dumb.
Yeah, no, it's really wild. We've learned so much. We've learned that there's a lot of opportunity to be rich, and we just aren't willing to do it. And, like, it's really frustrating because it's really, like, colored my world differently. Like, a lot of people are like, here's how to get rich quick, and then they, like, explain something, and I'm like, yeah, but at this point, marketing is, like, unethical, realistically.
There's one true get-rich-quick scheme, and
There's
it's
nothing
be
that works.
willing to screw over everybody else that you come into contact with. If you're willing to do that, you can be rich. I'm letting you know right off the bat. If anybody
It's
who's
hard
here,
'cause, like,
that's the trick.
I can't live anymore without seeing the unethical origins of literally everything that exists. Oh my god, we watched Infinity War last night. So sorry. We watched Infinity War last night, and so Thanos was talking about how he just wants to, like, take half the universe out, right?
Yeah.
And he's talking to Gamora, and he's like, hey, the reason I killed half your planet, but it wasn't without purpose. Half the people who died created a better world for the people to come after. They have resources and money, and they have a better world, and all I had to do was murder half the people on your planet, but for a reason. And I'm like, oh my god. So everyone who benefits from that benefited, like, at the cost of just millions of murders, right? And that's fine. I was watching it, and then I, like, woke up and I was like, that's just like, exactly what...
The first thing you said to me was, that's a better reason than real people have had for doing the same actual thing to real cultures.
Yeah. No, like, legitimately.
It's still not an acceptable reason, but it's somehow still an improvement over real life.
It's just weird because we all watched Infinity War and we were like, that's horrible. Like, as much as I relate because it's a logical conclusion, like there's logic to follow, A equals B equals C kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no one would do that. But anyone who exists in America literally exists on Thanos land. Like, white people came in and they just fucking murdered everyone, and we're like, nobody has to know. Everyone from here out is gonna thrive now that we've murdered people. And it's just fucking weird to me! It's weird that we all watched Infinity War and we're like, that's bad.
Doug is saying, I've always doubted that about Thanos. I think he's lying about Gamora's planet actually benefiting in the first place. He's the Mad Titan for a reason. Mm-hmm. He knows he's wrong, but he feels like he has to be right because his people denied him and went extinct themselves. And all I could think was like, wow, people doubling down real hard on something because they don't want to admit they were wrong about it the first time.
It's just weird.
What fantasy is this?
It's just fucking weird. It's just weird. And I've talked about this before, how, like, movies exist where they definitely show, like, every point of every movie is, like, money is bad, the rich are bad, the police are corrupt, the government's bad. Like, all of these things that are excessively rich and have too much power, they're bad. Every single movie does that. And somehow conservatives still exist. And I just don't even know what's happening. What do they watch for fun? Do they just read,
that's the weird thing, is that it's like, so you're not seeing yourself as the villain in that movie. You're somehow still seeing yourself as the scrappy,
protagonist,
poor underdog fighting.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's very strange.
I don't think they've ever watched a movie. I think they go home and they read a book called God Touched My Wife, and then they're like, this is the best thing I've ever read. Tell me that's not the title of every Christian book, though.
I don't have any input on this.
It is.
Also, the Krell said literally just need 2,825 specific people to have their wealth redistributed. And I hate hearing statistics on this so much. They're always so depressing.
That's actually even higher. In America, you only need 400 people.
Yeah, I assume that's like worldwide.
Actually, if you just took Jeff Bezos and just spread his money out,
two probably would fix most of it.
Jeff Bezos himself would fix most of it.
There was
literally.
I don't know if it's still there, but we shared the worst like infographic I've ever seen in our Discord at one point about just visualizing how much money Jeff Bezos has compared to everybody else. Not even Amazon, just the guy, just the one guy.
Yeah.
And it's
Giotto's...
It made me... It was sickening. It made me sick.
I really do not know how to say this name, and I'm gonna mess it up. Giotto says, at least Thanos wasn't discriminatory. Yeah, actually. I mean,
yeah. That is strictly true. He was not at all discriminatory.
He definitely didn't pick. I feel like if he did pick, I would have known who he was going to take out in the Avengers, but he didn't pick, so, you know.
Yeah. Wandering Familiar said, okay, I just got here in time to hear God touched my wife. What's up?
Just Jen says they watched it and completely missed the point. That's so weird. They like I know they like Hunger Games. Like, I know they like Hunger Games. I know they like the Avengers. Like, it's so weird. Every Christian boy that I ever hung out with loves the cinematic universe, and then they're really gonna go home and be a conservative. Sorry, I don't know how that happens. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what... The police are bad in every single story. Every time. I guess Marvel is pro-military, though. Maybe they just double down on it. I don't know. Maybe they just see what they want to see and just,
Marvel is... I mean, it's a minuscule problem. I would identify Marvel as not pro-military, but simply not anti-military. Because Marvel picks apart, they're like Iron Man's whole story is war profiteering is bad. But it's always his fault, you know? It's not the U.S. military's fault. Even when the U.S. military supposedly becomes a problem, or needs to for Captain America, it's not actually the U.S. military, it's secret Nazis inside the U.S. military,
That's
right?
True,
It's you always have to break away from
it. And Nazis are the liberals.
I mean, Nazis are just Nazis. It's just a hateable face that you can put on anything.
Pranav says those movies all say that, but they are made and produced by some of the wealthiest and most powerful people in the country.
Right?
I know, I've never understood. Why do they hate themselves? I don't understand, because they all make those points, but then, I don't get it. Someone explain it to me.
Well, it's just weird that you would pay to make something that produces the message that you're the bad guy, which means I'm missing something.
Doug says, even if that wealth is distributed, it won't solve the problem. Systematic change needs to happen again. So...
I mean, yeah.
we need our Hunger Games symbol. What was their symbol? We need the uprising symbol to just,
the Hunger Games went well, didn't it?
They overthrew the government, didn't they?
And then replaced it with another one. That was the whole message.
No, she killed him before they replaced the other government. Right?
The movie is that the whole message of the movie is a vicious cycle that just keeps repeating itself over and over and over again. That is the moral of the story.
But how good would it feel to at least take down one of them, huh? It'd feel good. It'd feel good.
I don't know. Ask the French about
how
they feel about that.
Anyway, do not storm the Capitol. Just, but steal from Walmart, at least. I just don't think that was the right call. I don't feel like storming
and on that catchphrase, I believe we're at the end of the show.
We haven't read all the comments!
Alright, finish it up.
Alright, we're gonna go through the comments and we're gonna head out. But, let's see. Gaslight Studio says, depending on what you like to read, if you like extremely violent and underhanded characters and stories, read Maurice Duran's The Iron King. Your conversation on Thanos reminded me of that. I do not like extremely violent things. But I used to like all the Saw movies.
That's true. You were much more, into violence and spooky stuff than I was when we first met.
Eric says, it looked like at the end of Infinity War that Thanos was disappointed that he didn't end up Snap 2. Yeah.
I never thought about him being in the running for that happening, technically, right? Although I guess he can, Hulk was able to control who got snapped away later, so I guess he could have decided that he wasn't part of it.
Azim, I don't know, sorry, I'll never get it. Conservatives see the Hunger Games as being anti-city, not anti-rich. That's wild. Fucking weird.
Also,
that's weird.
Krell14 says that Nazis are actually in the U.S. government, though.
That's a problem. Not even anything to disagree with that on.
But it's not even, but unlike in the movie, once we find out Captain America doesn't start punching them, they just stay there.
Someone probably, Rocket43 says, someone probably already asked this, but do you guys, but have you or do you plan to watch? I plan on watching the Zack Snyder Justice League. I'm gonna do it.
I guess that means I'm also doing it.
Yes, it does. We'll do it at some point. Old Titan says, anti-city, well, upon reflection, that makes sense. Oh, and okay, they're agreeing with the anti-city.
That's...
Anti-city? That doesn't even... Really? That's what they're taking away from it?
It's confusing.
Wow, okay. If they just keep making comments, we're gonna be here forever.
I think we're done.
No, we're not done.
Justin gave us a push the button.
Oh yeah, push the buttons are how we end.
We break the vicious cycle of oppression, but we have a system that just hates everyone.
That was the push the button?
Yes.
Do a different one. I don't like that one. Before you go, please tell me where Kyle got the mug. We got it at Buc-ee's. It's a Texas gas station.
Yep.
Come back, focus. No, it's gone. It's done with us. Having absolutely none of our shit anymore.
The camera is finished.
Hey guys. Alright, bye everybody.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in.